Kindly introduce yourself to us, and immediately thereafter, tell us about yourself, your background, educational experience, professional, and also touch on, now that you know you'll be nominated to the position of Cabinet Secretaries in the Ministry of Public Service, Youth, and Gender Affairs. Why would you feel that you are suitable or perhaps more suited to that docket?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First, let me start by appreciating your introduction and say that I'm grateful that I've been given this opportunity to appear before you as a nominee of the Ministry of Public Service, Youth, Gender, Cabinet Secretary. My name is Margaret Kobia. I was born in Meru and I grew up in Meru, had the early education in primary in Meru, and I went to Kikuyu at Alliance Girls for my O and A level. I have a Bachelor's of Education from University of Nairobi, a Master's of Education from Kenyatta University, teacher education in particular. I also have a PhD in Human Resource Education from the University of Illinois in USA. Mr. Chairman, my education, especially PhD, has prepared me on the areas of human resource management, human resource development. And that experience, education background gives me knowledge that gives me credibility to champion such a ministry. Mr. Chairman, regarding my work experience, I started as a high school teacher. I moved on to work with the Kenya National Examination Council as a researcher and a test developer. And you can see that builds. If you go to become an examiner, if you've been a teacher, it's a building and expanding my experience. Then I also taught at teacher training college, in particular Kenya Science, which is a renowned college in this country for producing science teachers. And after teaching Kenya Science, and then I moved to Kenyatta University because there were opportunities in administration as well as teaching. While I was at Kenyatta University, I decided to pursue my PhD because, as you know, if you're in the university, promotion opportunities do not come unless you have pursued the highest degree or PhD. When I left Kenya, finishing my PhD, I joined Commission for Higher Education that deals with regulating higher education in this country. I worked there for 2 years, but I still felt since I had acquired PhD, it was best suited in teaching, and I got moved to Strathmore University as a senior lecturer. From Strathmore University, I think I want now to center on my experience that relates to this nomination. The position of director KIA was advertised. I applied, I competed among 9 shortlisted candidates, and I was given the position. My experience at KIA is what I'm mostly proud of, because KIA is a government institution that is charged with the responsibility of capacity development for public servants. By the time I joined the university, the institution had been run down simply because you remember members and members that KIA, 80% of the facilities were given to University of Nairobi because we needed to expand higher education, especially in commerce. I transformed KIA in terms of reviewing of the curriculum, improving the infrastructure, developing staff. By the time I went there was only one person with a PhD. By the time I left, there were 9. And KIA was also among the flagship, Vision 2030 flagship, that I was given instruction by 2012, KIA should be transformed to Kenya School of Government. And in that relation, by 2012, we had developed an act, KSG Act, and KIA was transformed to Kenya School of Government. I think that was a major achievement, and it gave me experience in working in the public service and understanding how public service and especially the government works. From KIA, when I left actually in 2013 to join Public Service Commission, one of the biggest buildings in KIA is named after Margaret Kobia after I'd left. To me, I feel it's a legacy that will live in that institution. Even my great-grandchildren will be able to see it. But the most important thing is, what is the institution doing for this country in terms of developing capacity for public servants? Today, it is used to induct all directors of state corporations. As you know, we have over 280. It trains all public servants in the area of public sector reform, the public administration, public policy, strategic leadership, so that making institutions to be around known, I think is a major contribution that still lives on, because even the institution became a center of Commonwealth Secretariat training program on performance management. Then in 2013, I moved to Public Service Commission as chair to the commission. And within that, when I came, we found we were the first commission. And in developing institution of Public Service Commission, we had to start with the strategic plan. After the strategic plan, we developed the structure to deliver that plan. We hired, especially the top level, and I think what I'm trying to articulate here, having top level people who can be able to strengthen the institution is very important. So in short, as I conclude, Mr. Chairman, is what am I bringing to this position? I'm bringing a very strong leadership competency in terms of visioning and sharing that vision with the staff and inspiring them to learn with me and the develop institution. I'm bringing a very strong capability in delegation and empowerment. I'm bringing integrity and honesty into this job, and I bring wealth of knowledge and experience to the extent that establishing credibility, why I'm the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Public Service, Youth and Gender. For me, I'm persuaded and convinced I'm the right person. Let me also mention very quickly, Chair, the area of women. As somebody who comes from academician, I did a study on coping strategies of women senior leaders in the public service. That gave me an opportunity to understand the issues women face in this country. I have also done a study on Women Enterprise Fund, working with the Ministry of Public Service, just to understand. The Women Enterprise Fund was 5 years when we did the study 3 years ago. To what extent have the objectives of Women Enterprise Fund been achieved by that time? I think those findings give me a kind of knowledge of what issues are women in the business as far as government empowerment program are concerned. Youth, I'm quite comfortable with the youth because in the course of my own job, I travel and I listen to youth. And I get to know we have about 75% people who are youth under 35. And the struggles they have in employment, lack of skills, but I see what the government has done in terms of opening opportunities for the youth, because that is the future for this country. Therefore, I will partner and work with everybody else, because with my experience in the public service, no one ministry can deliver on its own. So capacity to partner and I work with other ministries that are working with the youth. I know ICT, I know the National Youth Service, I know many other programs that the government has put as a way of reaching out the youth. So I am competent actually to be considered for the position of Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Public Service, Youth and Gender. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.